The wood whirler is in. Let's get busy. You see, I already got another project started, another big bowl. My daughter wanted the other one I made after I gave it away, so I'm having to make her one. I'm not videoing this one. But you know, I had to come back, and maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to, because I get so irritated with these people going in and testing products when they don't know what they're talking about. They go in and they do these tests, you know, which shines best and so forth. Their tests are not good. They're not equal. They limited experience. Let me show you something here, just for the hell of it, so maybe you'll understand where I come from. I used to be in the show car business, okay? I built show cars from a frame up. I mean, I got hundreds and hundreds of, probably 200 show cars over a period of my time. So I have literally got thousands of hours of sanding and polishing experience. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. As you can see right here, the old Ford right there. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. But anyway, I just wanted to qualify myself as knowing when it comes to polishing what I'm talking about. Now, the particular test I'm talking about, I'm not going to say the person's name because that's irrelevant. My point is that, you know, you shouldn't do tests and put them out there because you can be affecting someone's livelihood when you're not qualified to do the test. Just because you use it doesn't make you qualified. And this particular test was very flawed. It was testing 3 different sanding pastes. Well, you know, all 3 sanding pastes are made basically the same. They got 3 ingredients in them. They have mineral oil, they have beeswax, and they have a grit. There's only 2 types of grits out there. And the difference between them all, it might be the ratios of how they're mixed. And that's it, my friends. So theoretically, all 3 of them should produce the approximate same shine. Now, the difference, what was wrong with this test was the amount of time spent on each one of the colors of epoxy was not the same. You don't know about the amount of pressure put on it, okay? The epoxy colors were different. When it first started, I could tell you who was going to win, because you take the brightest epoxy color, and that's the one that's going to win. You take the dullest, and that's the one that's going to lose. Dullest darkest is a better word, because dark colors, they show scratches more, no matter what you do. That's why all my major show cars that I used to do, I always went for a light color. My main one, 65 Mustang, was a very bright yellow. And I won, you know, best paint in several shows. And the reason, it may not have been that good, but the reason I won it is because you couldn't see any of the scratches, especially out in the sun. Whereas if you take a dark color, like a black or something, you can see every little speck on it. And the same principles here, you know. The waxes, they're all the same. They should have produced about the same thing. You shouldn't be able to tell the difference. You know, you should have had a single color. It should have, you know, had the exact amount of time within a second or 2 on each one. And, you know, you can't measure pressure by hand like that, but you can tell. And the pressure should have been the same. And the biggest thing I saw was this person did polishing at a slow speed. Well, slow speed does not produce a high shine. He's just not going to get one. You have to. Here's this one. This is what this video is about. It's got a nice shine to it. It's done, you know, with some sealer and polyacrylic, and I use Axe paste on it. You know, to be perfectly fair, Axe paste is one of my sponsors, but I make my own. And the one I make is the exact same formula that Kim Tippin uses. I mean, the exact same formula. Now, I don't know about the Yorkshire grit, but it's got to be similar. But if you don't, when you're doing after you put it on in your final polishing, if you don't produce a heat in that beeswax, you're not going to get a shine, and you're not going to produce heat at a low speed. I mean, that's just all there is to it. And contrary to what one statement was made, that the paste is not a finish. Yes, it is a finish. Okay, if you want to stop there, because it has the beeswax in it, and it will produce a wonderful shine. The polish afterwards basically enhances that finish and puts a protective coating on it. That's all it does. So my issue here is basically some of you turners out there, you're not experts in some of these things, and quit putting it out there like you are an expert, because you don't know what you're affecting. Some of these people make their livings doing that, and you have these flawed tests that shows their product is inferior. It just ain't fair, guys. Okay, so just cut it out. And I see, you get on YouTube, you can find lots of people doing testing, and very few of them are what you would call a qualified tester. As I am not a qualified tester, I have tons of experience, but I would not set up a test like that that could be challenged, and I am challenging this one as being unfair. But one of the issues I wanted to address is, people think that, hey, baked walnut is a whole lot cheaper. Well, is it? I mean, the time you buy the earth or the grit and the mineral oil and the beeswax, unless you're making them to sell, that's going to be a pretty expensive jar or two of polish, isn't it, or paste wax. So it's not cheaper, and it's probably not as good. Probably don't have the right, mixing equipment and so forth. So making your own, to me, you get the same thing. You want to go for the best bang for the buck. And by far, in my opinion, Axe paste is the best bang for the buck. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. And it does as good or better job than any of the others. And the job is strictly depending on who's doing it and how they do it and what your undersurface is. You got to start with a good undersurface. It's got to be smooth, because if it's not smooth, it won't take a good polish. And it's got to be done properly. Right procedure, right speeds, right pressure, right time, etc., etc. All right. I guess I got it off my chest now. Okay, no big deal. It ain't no big deal. I just got this thing about criticizing people's products unless they're just misrepresented or somebody's trying to cheat you or something like that. And that's not the case on none of these three. They're all great, but they all are basically the same, guys. You're going to get the same end result out of all three of them if you do it right. No ifs, ands, and buts. Well, like I say, get the best bang for the buck. That's where I go. So, okay. See. Well, good morning, guys. Here we are again. Well, I've got a piece of pecan that my friend Joe Tucker gave me, and I'm going to make a tumbler or something out of this, end grain wise. So before we get started, I know a lot of you guys are sitting there saying, no, it's not pecan, it's pecan. Well, I got news for you fellers. According to Webster, and according to Cambridge, it's pronounced pecan. There's an origin behind it. However, don't feel too bad. 45% of all Americans are wrong. They say pecan. So there you go. End of discussion. Let's get on with it. All right, here we go. First thing I'm going to do is put it between centers, because you notice that both ends sort of go beep, beep. So I'm going to put it between centers to get both ends square. That's the easiest way. Of course, I'm going to take this bark off and get showered with it. Then I'm just going to get it to the round, and then we're going to go from there. Got a couple little tricks up my sleeve on this one. It's going to be sort of a fat goblet, coming down to something like this and coming down about here and back out. So first thing I want to do, first thing is this. I was trying to get in the habit of this myself. You just take, every time you bring out a tool rest, just take a piece of sandpaper and do this to it. Especially when you get into the point that you're doing fine cuts, because if you got a little piece of roughness right there when you're going to you're going along more like this right here, you get a little drag and it makes you sort of jump, pull a little harder, it pulls over and leaves you a tool mark. And it ain't gonna matter on this particular one, the Beaver, because there ain't nothing but tool marks. Until I turn it and start doing the drag cut. Yeah, it is a little more than what you think. I'm just gonna go ahead and whirl it up to a grand, because I know that'll work and I know it can come out, so why not? Things coming off, hurt even through the glove. I'm going to take a break and get on the computer and look up Pe-cahn and see what that's supposed to look like, because I don't know, maybe I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, but I don't recall seeing any white pecan. See you in a little while. Well, as hard-headed as I am, I picked up some pieces of bark off the floor. There they are. And out there, see those are all pecans, with the exception of that first one, and it's a maple. But I have 5 pecan trees right in a row right there, so we're going to go over here and do a bark look. Now I know they're pecans because pecans grow on them. So we're walking out here. All right, let's take a look at this one right here. Take a real close look at this bark. There it is. There's the biggest one I got right there. That's not pecan. Hate to tell you that. I don't know what it is, but it's not. See how this is like really like a rough bark? Uh-oh. Got some pecker woods been in it here. Maybe turning this for too long. No. Trying to find a little bit of green. There's some. Right there's a little bit of green. I don't know, man. It could be. Well, I'm gonna turn this blonde wood anyway. I got on the web and looked up pecan, and I saw a couple pieces that's sort of like this, but this pattern was in there, so it looks to me like it's turning as I look at it. So, you know, maybe it is, but the bark doesn't match too good. I'm gonna turn this down and leave like a tenon that fits right there. So, I'll put the faceplate on here. It'll be really nice and centered. So let me get that done. It won't take long. I don't believe I've had the camera on. What a shame. Oh well. Basically all I did was shape it down to the basic shape. And now I'm putting the tenon in. Reset forward. Maybe not. It's a little big, but I think it'll be all right. It's got a good grip there. Okay, here's the plan. I'm going to drill a hole in the bottom of this. And I know you can't see, it's to that black line right there. It's an old broke drill bit. And it's the same length. And what I'm going to do is drill this hole, goes right here. And I'm going to CA glue that old drill bit in there and leave it. Because then I'm going to cut this down pretty thin. And that's going to be my support. So, let's drill it. I don't believe this would come out, but I'm going to put a little bit of CA around just in case. Well, I got the dust collector going because I do a little sanding, and I'm only sanding this part right here because I am not convinced this is pecan. I compared the bark to the trees out there, and it's similar, but it ain't the same. It's too close to call. It means I've never turned these before. It's, it's hard to say. So I thought I would sand this a little bit, and I've got some golden pecan stain over here. Now that looks like pecan. See what I'm going to do about that right there. Let's get it flipped around and start on that inside. Flip it around on this, I'll start on the inside, and I'm going to get this turned way down. But I'm going to do it from the other end. I'm going to go ahead and do my depth hole drill, going right to the end of that coupler. A little saber tool, somewhere in that neighborhood. Beaver definitely does the best job. I'll come in with the round cutter now, so I can't clean that bottom up. There'll be a little thinner right in there. You can see in there, you can see better than I can see. looks pretty good. If I have to say so myself. I don't have a plan for that. So I'm just going to start whittling on it. Sort of like that. A little bit of black showing. I may do the whole thing that way. May do that and let it sit up overnight. And then sand it, that way only the deep parts will show. That's not a bad idea, is it, Larry? Nope, it isn't. I just may do that and then sand it in the morning. Let that dark stain sit in there real good. Sand it in the morning till it looks about like this right here, see? And that'll give a neat effect, and then come on the top of it with my golden pecan. That don't look like no pecan to me, right? Who says? Might be pretty good in there. Man, a little bit more right there, but I think I got my little drill bit in too far. But it ain't gonna break it together. Much care for the way this does on the end grain. That'll be all right when we get it all sanded and shiny. Well, good morning. Well, as usual, when I sleep on something, I come up with another plan. So here's the plan. It's a little different, not a whole lot different. First off, I'm going to sand this down, like I was talking about, where only the deep grain shows. And then what I want to do is I took and bought this yesterday, and it's golden pecan penetrating wood stain. So what I want to do is pour a little bit of this into here, and I'm going to add a whole bunch of copper to it, copper powder. I tried a little bit of this, and this is very light. And this thing just has no pizzazz, It's just it's just too plain Jane to me. And I don't like plain Jane. So let's turn this rascal on and get on with it. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, looks better. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe the whole thing down with denatured pickup ball. Clean. Okay. You ready? So it looks orange, doesn't it? I'm not going to be shy with it. I'm going to put 2 or 3 coats of this on it. He was wrong, that's the way it's going to be now. Alright, I'm going to let that dry. Then I'll come back and I'm probably going to hit it 3 or 4 times. Okay, it's the next morning. I'm getting ready to, well, first off, I went ahead and I got it sanded down a little bit. Very lightly with 320 and Scotch-Brite pad. Had to work on a couple of little marks right there. I'm getting ready to put the axe base to it. See if it'll shine. If it doesn't, we'll do something different. I'm still toying with the idea of coating it with epoxy. I've done that before, and I like it pretty good. House painters are here today, and they're at the painting shop too, so they're out there making a little noise. You'll have to forgive it. I'm sure not going to make them stop. It's too hard to get them going. I think a lot of people don't do this long enough, you know. They put the paste on and take it off. You gotta work it. It's sanding is what it's doing. That's 2,400 there. Let's get it off there now. Remember I put that drill bit in? Well, my plan was to make that a lot thinner, but I got to turn it down to here, and I said, well, it just won't look right if I go any thinner, so I quit. So I didn't really need that. At the same time, I don't guess it hurt nothing. All right, let's get it off here. Well, there it is. It's all finished. I can't really say I'm a new fan of pecan. In fact, just the opposite. I doubt I'll turn anymore. Didn't like it. Didn't like the way it turned. Didn't like the blonde look. Had to stain it to get the look I wanted. I was going to make the stem an awful lot smaller, but I started turning it down, and they just wouldn't look right, so I quit. See, I have that. I put a steel deal in there. It's pretty inside. It's got what you got in the bottom there. You know that. It's pretty nice. So anyway, there you go, my friends. Off to doing you know, that big Catalba bowl I just did. I got to do another one just like it. But I gave it to a friend, and then my daughter calls up and she said, "You still got that bowl?" And I said, "Nope, gave it away." She said, "Oh, I wanted that bowl." So I guess I got to make her one. That's the way it goes. She does everything for me. So there you are. Turning nice and slow. Tell your friends if you got any. After everything going on nowadays, I don't know about that. Give me a like. Call your mama. Catch you on the rebound. Bye. The wood burner has left the building.